Start off, we were very happy to be moving on in the playoffs to the second round. Played a really good Tuskegee team last week. Thought they came in and were very physical. It was really kind of the second time this is going to happen. They had an open date the week before they played us last week, and of course Pembroke's going to have an open date this week because of getting the bye. So they came in fresh and were very physical and played really well. We played a little undisciplined defensively in the first half that hurt us, but at the end of the game, fourth quarter, we did the things it took on both sides of the ball to win the football game and move on to the second round. So, thrilled to be there. We're going to travel this week to Fayetteville, North Carolina, is where we'll be staying, playing in Pembroke. It is kind of ironic for me. I started my coaching career at East Carolina under Pat Dye, and Fayetteville was my recruiting area, so I'm very familiar with Fayetteville and kind of like going back to a time. But we're there for a purpose and to try to win and move on. They've got an outstanding football team. They've lost one game this year, and their quarterback is a Harlan Hill Trophy finalist. Thrown for over 3,000 yards, 31 touchdowns. They have excellent receivers. One in particular that looks like he would probably have a chance at playing at the next level in the NFL. And a freshman running back is very quick, very similar to the running back we saw at West Alabama. And then defensively, they're very disciplined. They're well coached. They play extremely hard. And that's the reason they're successful. And, it'll be a great challenge, but all the games from this point on are going to be big challenges. There's only 16 teams left in the country. Hopefully next week we'll be one of 8. Any questions?
Coach, how does your defense prepare for such a passing game?
Well, very similar to Valdosta, very similar to Tarleton. And so we've had some experience going against this style of offense. The quarterback at Tarleton averaged over 300 yards passing a game also. We were able to hold him 150. Valdosta got 250 yards on us, but we held them to one touchdown. And so we've had the experience of doing that. We can't do the exact same things, but we'll be very similar. Try to change some things up a little bit. It's real quick passing game where the quarterback catches it and throws it fast. So we obviously got to get up on the receivers and try to put pressure on them, but it's hard with the quick passing game. But I think we're ready for that kind of offense.
Speaking of those two games and coming into this passing game, how do you keep your defense from being so confident that they can be able to shut down?
Well, I think after last week, we probably realized we need to improve and be more disciplined. But the bottom line is, our defense does match up to that style of offense better than it did what Tuskegee does, and Tuskegee does. They're back in the 90s. Willie hadn't changed. I mean, we hadn't seen the eye and a tall sweep out of the eye in 5-6 years, and the belly and the ISO right at you and cut blocking. We lost 2 players. Caleb Massey's out for the year. We thought he'd be back, but we found out that he did tear ligaments in his ankle and is going to have some work done to it, and Jerome White is out for the year. So that fullback put 2 of our players out with legal blocks. It's something if I could approach the NCAA rules committee, I wish they'd outlaw blocking below the waist myself, just for hate to see a young man's career end, not career, but his season end with a injury like that. But it was all legal, and as long as it's legal, you can't blame somebody for doing it.
What specifically does their quarterback do well? Different from
Very, very accurate. High percentage of completions. A lot of even the long ball, he's accurate. He throws a real high long ball and lets number 17, their fast receiver, run underneath it. But you can't. That offense, believe it or not, you don't want to get behind the chains, and that makes kind of see where you pass it. And you're used to being third and long, but they're not. They want to throw the bubbles, the quick screens, the stick routes, which are little 5-6 yard routes, and you got to be able to throw and catch and be accurate when you throw and catch the football, and you can't have drops, and that's what they do extremely well. And then, of course, try to keep you off balance with the draw and the zone. Quarterback does not run much, if he runs hardly at all, and so that's something that we take into account.
Talk about facing that without Caleb, what loss that is.
Well, obviously Caleb's a great player. Turning All-American, was having an All-American type season this year, and we're going to miss him. We're very fortunate to have Floyd Jones and Kyle Jackson. Floyd, obviously, with a lot of experience, so we're not really having to turn to somebody who doesn't have experience. Does hurt us a little bit depth-wise, and it hurts us a little bit in kicking situations. Of course, he wasn't on the punt team last week, because he had a nagging injury before that, and we put Kyle in there for him last week anyway. But Floyd Jones, we got all the confidence in the world in him stepping up. One thing that's very interesting about our football team is that we're in the top 20 in the nation in scoring offense, top 20 in the nation scoring defense, top 20 in the nation in turnover margin, and we lead the nation in interceptions, and we lead the nation in fewest punt yards against us. There's a lot of hidden yardage in football, and that kicking game, Filbert Marshall's in the top 20 in punt returns. He's in the top 50 in the nation in kickoff returns. So there's a lot of hidden yardage that this football team produces besides on offense and defense.
Coach, how difficult is it to keep your players focused on a holiday week?
Well, it's going to be different. One thing is we got a very mature football team with a lot of character, a lot of leadership. And that's two of these guys. Two of them are right sitting beside me, and we're going to try to keep them as busy as possible with let them still have free time. We'll practice in the mornings. We'll practice tomorrow morning. Then we'll meet later on. We'll have a lunch for them. We'll meet tomorrow afternoon late, and then we're going to go to Ryan's or take them to dinner and then to a movie. And so that'll keep them busy tomorrow. Thursday, we're going to have practice Thursday morning. We'll have a Thanksgiving luncheon at 1. We'll let the players that live in this area, if they want to go home and eat with their families, do that and enjoy Thanksgiving. Then it might be a good week, and I said this earlier, it's probably a good time for us to be on the road. And the reason for that is, number one, it is a holiday, and we'll get refocused Friday morning when we go to breakfast. We'll take them to breakfast and then to the airport, and we'll get to Fayetteville before, right at lunchtime, and then we'll be at the hotel and together as a team. And so, I think that's going to be good. And then obviously the other reasons, because what's happening in Auburn this weekend. The state's pretty engrossed with that situation too. So it's probably a good time to be on the road.
You guys have covered so many miles in the last month or so.
Yeah, we have.
Is that taking a toll on the players?
I don't think so. I think the ride back from, you'd have to ask them, but the ride back from Tarleton was probably pretty tough. Getting back so early in the morning, 5 in the morning. But as far as flying to Florida and flying to Fayetteville, it's just an hour and a half plane ride. So, it's the fact that we're flying makes it a lot better.
Brian, talk about facing another passing offense like this, the success y'all had. What's been the key to shutting down these teams?
To shut down passing offense, we just gotta play our keys, do what we do. Like, the main focus is, get up on the receivers, jam them up, and show them that it ain't gonna be easy. You just gotta catch the ball. You gotta, the quarterback gotta be real accurate. If you're not accurate, we got some good corners. We have faith in all our players. We do our 1-11 as a team. We don't worry about nothing, pretty much. So we just do what we do. Our coach coached us up pretty well. They put us in the right position to make plays, and that's the main key, to make plays as we go.
What about with Caleb? It's a big loss.
Yeah, that's a big loss, but like Coach said, we got faith in Floyd as well. Kyle Jackson, all of them been showing us pretty good situations. I have faith in them. We play as a team. We live as one. Every day at practice, we'll break it down on family, and that's the main key. Play as a team, play as brothers, and have each other back.
Jason, talk about the way the offense played Saturday. Do you feel like y'all were a little bit off maybe from the way y'all been going last year?
Yeah, we've really been clicking the weeks before, and I guess you say we took a step back this last week, but we still made some plays and when we needed to, and we stepped up at times, but I think we'll be all right when we get back on track and do what we've been doing.
How do you address the penalties and things this week? Do you put extra emphasis on it, or are you thinking it's just kind of?
Well, first of all, after looking at the film, it's just like always. We didn't play near as bad as I thought we did. And then just like I think we played great, and you look at the film, you didn't play quite as good as you thought you did. The all sides, I asked, trying to find out, was it cadence doing something to make us jump? Was a quarterback, and it was 4 different guys, 4 different times. Don't know that they were doing anything, so that's just been, we got to be more disciplined. We work on that at practice, and we'll continue. We'll stress it. The other, really the other penalties, one was referee ran into a coach on the sideline. That's ours. That won't happen again. The other one, Nick got called for a face mask that I thought was a late hit on the far side because the referee said personal foul, and then I didn't continue to watch him, and I guess he said face mask after that because that's what people told me after the game. I said, I thought, that is an issue that, that wasn't anything to be upset about. That's part of football. The penalty on Dimitri Orr, we've talked with him about him, controlling his emotions out there on the field, and I think that he'll do better also. So, we've addressed it. Things happen. One thing that didn't happen, one thing that did happen that was good is we play hard. And we play with a lot of emotion, and that's good.
Talk about your depth defensively. It's been weird. You started out hardly any injuries, and then you kind of been hit the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, we've lost 3 players in the last 2 games, which we really hadn't lost hardly any. I can't think of any for, Jalen Reedus has been out. He'll be back. We're going to work Jalen Reedus some at safety to give us that 4th safety, because we got so many corners that we're carrying with us right now. At linebacker, that's probably the toughest position because we got the 3 great seniors that are all playing so well, and then behind them we're very inexperienced, and we're going to play Quad Freeman at the wheel linebacker and take Ty Booth, who traveled a little bit and played a little bit earlier in the year at Mike. So Quad's got to learn a different position, but that's all he'll be learning this week, so it shouldn't be a problem. Depth at front is still good. We've got a lot of inside people and outside people, and of course Taylor Carney can play both.
Yeah, Duster and Lattimore, are they good for this week?
Yeah, they're fine. Lattimore might be, we'll know more later in the week, but I think he's going to be fine.
We're going to talk about the linebackers, the way you guys, when you go up against these passing teams, 3-man front, how y'all play differently. Y'all really drop into coverage. Do you feel more like a DB back there?
Yeah, it bring back memories because I'm pretty much in coverage. I gotta get to a zone, and that's what I'm used to playing in a zone. But it's the same or whatever. But all 3 of us, we know our keys and our responsibility, and that we bank on every day. Us 3, we just keep each other, play for each other, and just tell each other what to do, and just remember to read our keys and do what Coach teach us to do.
Jason, talk about the wide receivers. It seems like every week it's a different one of you guys that steps up. You look at your stats; they're not a lot different. What's the key, from one week to the next?
Well, it can really just be any of us any week, like you're saying, and I don't know if it's maybe a defense is trying to shut down one of us one week or a different one another week and the other one steps up, but really you can't take us all away because we have so many that can hurt you. So, that's great to have on offense because you can't just key on one receiver, or in like an offense, you can't just key on the run now because we have multiple receivers that hurt you. So, I mean, that brings another dimension to our game.
When we talk about Jason, what he's meant, I know since the day you got here, pretty much, he's been one of the leaders. And another one of these 5-year guys, you don't see many of those this year.
Well, absolutely. It's, when I came in, a lot of transition. We'd lost a lot of players from the fall before. And Jason was one of the handful of guys who had the experience of being in the program, but also understood things were fixing to change and accepted the way we wanted to do things, accepted the leadership of being disciplined, doing the right things. Mainly the three things that, and he exemplifies this as much as anything. The three things that I think are important to win championships, and that's number one, go to school, do the best you can in the academics. Number two, work at football, and number three, be a good person and treat people the way you'd want to be treated. And Jason and Breonna, all these guys fit this mold. They bought into it. That's why you never hear one of them say something about throw me the ball more, or I need to run the ball more, or there's so much unselfishness on this team. Even before Caleb got hurt, Floyd and Nick alternating, Dominique Duster and Jeremiah and Carney and Shaq and all of them just going in and out, and this is a team, and but it's people like Jason that helped us get to this point. And from a talent standpoint, of course he's been all conference, and but he's got great speed, great hands, and a great feel for the game. And I think because of his size, he's a little underestimated a little bit. He's a lot bigger.
But as far as Nick and Floyd, will one of them take more of Caleb's spot? Or
Yeah, Floyd will. Nick will stay in the position they've been playing. And Floyd's been playing both positions. We've been rotating all three of them. So just, in games, Caleb didn't come out as much. But now it'll be Floyd and Nick. And like I said, Kyle will probably alternate with Nick, and Jalen Reedus will play corner and back up Floyd.
That, of course, not to give away your game plan, but going with the 5 DBs, that's really worked well for you. Do you think losing Caleb, it'll still be something that you want to go with?
Yeah, because when we do that, we're not really going with an extra safety. We're going with an extra corner, and we still have all the corners are healthy, and it's just matching up, corners on their wideouts. It's and speed and putting speed on the field. That's one reason I think defensively we do so well in these kind of situations is because we have so much speed on defense with our linebackers and our defensive front. Everybody's got speed at corner. I mean, that's normal. Now, I will say this: they've got their receivers are very fast, and they're very good. So it's going to be a huge challenge.